Welcome back to Offroad, guys. My name is George. Now, in this video, we're installing the trigger 6-shooter switch system in the Jeep Wrangler JL over there. First of the new mods to the Jeep, and this shouldn't take long, honestly. So let's kick it. All right, so we have this bolt hole here that's threaded in. You might have something there, you might not. I don't, most people don't. Then we have this bolt here, it's a 10 mil. We're gonna loosen that 10 mil, take it out. And then we're gonna install our bracket like so. We're gonna reuse the factory hardware here. And we're gonna use the supplied nut and bolt here. This kit doesn't come with many instructions, guys. So the bracket fits well, or the switch system fits well this way, right? There's less wiring and stuff, but A, it's upside down, and B, this looks like a mess. So if we kind of split it, 3 going each direction, we can kind of get it to fit. And then bolt it into the bracket with the 3 small bolts provided. And that should work for us. So we're gonna get that started. And these are serrated nuts, so once you get them at least a little bit tight, you should be good to go. All right, so once it's all in, this is how it's gonna look. Being that they're serrated nuts in the back, just hand holding it and then a screwdriver should be plenty tight. And now we're gonna get this guy wired up. So we have a giant inline fuse, we have power, ground obviously, and then we're gonna have a yellow ignition wire. I'm gonna be wiring this into the radio fuse, the 20 amp fuse, and I'm gonna use an add a fuse. I'm going to show you guys that in a second because I'm going to solder this guy together first. Alright guys, so we're going to add our heat shrink to this first before we do anything. Slide it in. Alright, so now I'm going to remove our little ends here. Going to twist these guys up a little bit. Alright, now they gave us 2 pretty heavy duty clamp terminals. And we're going to crimp this in a couple spots, make sure we have a good crimp throughout. So I'm going to do the top and the bottom. Alright, I'm going to pull out the F52 fuse. Wish I had an actual fuse puller, but this will work. That's going to be the cigarette lighter outlet. We're going to plug this guy right in there. And did I not get the... God, I hate myself. Well, that part just became tomorrow's job because I'm not leaving again today to get that part. So we're gonna move on to the inside, and we'll get that started at least. But first, I'm gonna tape all this stuff off so nothing shorts out, grounds out while I'm driving to work tomorrow, and then I'll finish this off later. Now, for this next part, it's gonna be easier with the T-tops off. It's gonna be a little harder for me because I still have my sunshade on, and I'm way too lazy to take that thing off. But now we're gonna be installing the headliner portion and hardwiring that guy. So we have this piece. We need to remove this piece up here, which shouldn't be too difficult. So let's get that started. This sucked to take out. Now we can take this stuff together and we can just clip this guy in. So that's how that's gonna look now. Changes the angle of it a little bit, you see? Alright, so now I'm making the wiring harness for the back of our switches. White should be our switch. Red is our power, black's our ground. It's only gonna be running when the car's on, so we're just gonna tie red and white together. I know this stuff doesn't need a lot of power, it doesn't draw a lot, but I hate when wires are this small. It's so frail and so difficult to work with. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Alright, so I'm not even gonna note what wires I'm using because it could be different for you guys, but obviously wherever your power is, that's where your power is going, and ground will be ground. So I'm gonna open up more of the sheeting and then get to it. If you have a sunshade, remove the sunshade. Way easier. So now we're just gonna tape off what we cut. Pull some slack out of that. And now this can go all up. We can feed all this stuff through here. Everything else should be able to get tucked out of the way and fed back up. Alright, so now we're just gonna add the batteries to this thing. It's positive or negative, so we're gonna go negative down. So that just makes sense. Alright, so now we're gonna connect our harnesses. Once we connect our harnesses, we should be good to go. Well, guys, I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of a tight fit. But it should fit. I got too far ahead of myself, guys, so I want to put this in beforehand. Guys, that is a tight fit.
All right, so it's been about 4 days at this point because the micro ATA circuit, my auto parts store didn't sell it, which was quite frustrating, so I had to get it off Amazon. Came in like a 4-pack and was cheaper anyways, so it kind of worked out, but I had to wait. So we're gonna get this guy soldered up, wired up, and then I'll show you what fuse I tapped into. Thank you. And F52 is located right here. It is this 20 amp. Okay, so that should be good to go. And I can save this for later. All right, so now we're just gonna wire up our negative and positive leads, and this should be all set. Okay, so turning the Jeep into accessory mode should give us power over the switches. Should. So, we're now in accessory mode. Nothing blew up, so that's always, you know, a good indicator. Do we have power? We do have power to all the switches. So you can see that indicated by the lights are going on and off. Okay, now I have to go into the app and sync those switches inside the dash to the switch unit under here. And honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the way this wiring is, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up off camera. Okay guys, so that's gonna conclude the install part of this video. I have a couple tips when installing, most of them regarding the overhead switch panels if you're hardwiring them in. Now the only way to change the color of the backlight is if you hardwire it in. And to know if you hardwired it in correctly, the backlight is going to automatically light up once it makes connection to that back panel as long as your accessory is turned on. Now, that didn't happen for me right away because the gauge on the wires that comes with the back panel itself is so small. I actually had to double up the wire a couple times to make sure I had a good enough connection because it was very intermittent for me in the beginning and I had to play with it a lot, so I ended up redoing that wiring part just because that wire was so thin. And now it works out perfectly. The app is super simple to use, guys. There's instructions that come with it that tell you how to start the app. Basically, you put all zeros in, you make your own code. After it's paired to it, then obviously the buttons are what they are. You can customize the backlight on the switch pod itself, and you can change it from momentary to other things like that. But that's basically it, guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share the video if you liked it. And I'm telling you guys, though, smashing the like button and subscribing, it really helps out the channel. So if you want to see more videos like this, please just let me know. If you have any ideas that you want to see me do on the channel, leave them down in that comment section like I said before. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.
Yeah. It's that first day of first grade, that cute girl, your third day, that backpack, that snapback you've had since the third